Yo, I will give it to the WWE. Hey, sometimes they sidestep, they fall. I was like, they try to get back up, and sometimes they hook me right back in. Cause now Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins. I was gonna say Rogers, and I was like, yo, I'm trying to make Captain America a different person, but he owes him a favor now, and it's like, I like, look, I said that basically to CM Punk favor with Paul Heyman. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was necessarily good either. I was just like, oh, we sort of seen this sort of coming. That's your favor. I was like, I thought that this could be a crazy build up, but I was like, with a week, I could understand you might have Roman scrambling. I don't think, like I said, a little lackluster, but maybe that's because it already seemed like it was right on the wall with it, and could have been something bigger, basically. But anyway, I was like, Seth Rollins basically, hey, threatened the hell out of Paul Heyman because he's just like, yo, nobody's here to help you. I was like, technically, those two dudes that that you say you loyal to ain't loyal to you. So let's see how far I can get with this. CM Punk tried to come out here and help his friend out. You know, he Rollins get the upper hand on him. He kept on threatening that he could just take Paul Heyman out, where Paul Heyman ain't even at WrestleMania, and he did have a chance to take Paul Heyman completely out of the game, and then he just like, nope, because I didn't decide to kill you today. Guess what? You owe me now. And Paul Heyman got a look on the face. Now, I will say, Paul Heyman ain't gotta do a damn thing. Paul Heyman could just be like, no, this is not the same thing. It's like Roman, we had an agreement. CM Punk, we had an agreement. I ain't got no damn agreement with you. I don't have to. We ain't gotta do this. We ain't gotta do this. There ain't nothing here that you stopped me from what? Getting my head. I got powerbomb before. You ain't doing nothing scary. It's only a week until then. I was like, I can survive that long, which is a different story in of itself. Seth wanted to turn that around. But now the more intriguing thing is, what can it be that Seth would have as the favor for Paul Heyman? Now, I feel like not the obvious answer, but the one I feel like most people could just basically go to, the fact that he trumps them all, and basically Paul Heyman's in his corner. Hey, Rollins did say from not this Monday, but the Friday, that hey, he got something kooky and wild that he thinking of, and he did do that on Monday. So he could also have something even more kooky and wild here. Like could he have it the favor where he's like, hey, CM Punk, Roman, you don't get a main event. That's what my thing is. Take that out. So that wasn't his favor. You take that out of the contract. That's your favor to me. I don't even care if I'm not in the main event, as long as they not in the main event. That could be it, or whatever like that. I was like, out of two, I was like, him being inserted in the championship match, I feel like that'd be a wild one, because I'm like, if Punk didn't ask for that, I don't see what Seth asking for. And I was like, I think they got enough with the Jey Uso Gunther thing where that's settled. John Cena and Cody not gonna get touched, so there's no point in all that. But I was like, outside of those two, I really don't have anything. Look, he might not even enforce it for WrestleMania. This could be after WrestleMania, which I think I would like better if they waited until after WrestleMania to have this, because that way, going into it, I was like, everybody can always just be like, what's Seth favorite? I was like, you're gonna have this Friday, Monday, and the next Friday to ponder about it, and he just doesn't pull the trigger. Maybe he pulled it at WrestleMania. I was like, he pulled it afterward. I was like, I think that now you have something else in this storyline between the two of them, and now you can prolong even more, adding to this whole feud rivalry thing that you have. I would sort of prefer that, or maybe I'm like some last minute thing where it's like we don't really have any chance to like say or like really react. It's just like, oh my god, and then it's just like too late and it happens, kind of thing. But I can't imagine anything outside of right now him asking for Paul Heyman outside of his corner or whatever like that. And like I said, I think this was needed, because outside of that one, it's enough to hook us in. without us really knowing what it could be, but throwing everything at the wall of what it possibly can be. And I was like, that's where I was like, okay, cool. They brought me back of having something else involved in this that I deem that makes it even more like that's what I need. Like, go and watch the match anyway. Likes the match. Like, I was been fine with the setup and the build up of it. I've even changed my mind on the main eventing as well too. But I still was like, okay, that Paul Heyman thing ain't moved me. It didn't do nothing to me. Like, that's not to like the story that I was like, oh my god, this changes everything. I was like, no, the hell it didn't. Seth's could change everything, but like I said, do you want to do you want to do that now, or you want to wait till later? Because now it's back again to being like, yo, you gotta have to have something big, right? Or is it going to be something that's like, oh, okay, whatever, it's just part of the match. I don't care. I'm still just gonna watch a regular match. It ain't gonna be something that's like, whoa, to me. But anyway, I just wanted to give props on that one. I'll talk about the other stuff as well too. The Jey, I was like, I felt like this is where I was like, I didn't necessarily agree with the whole route of the promo or whatever, but I did like them just basically having Jey be regular. And I'm not gonna lie, this is also where you start seeing the whole crowd thing being like, now it's about to be annoying. And I was like, now it's not what, it's yeet. They sort of started doing the chants like they did over in Europe, so we don't learn how to do that damn thing. And it's kind of like, oh my god. Even when he was trying to tell him to chill and stuff like that, you even heard parents like when like Jey was trying to say, he's like, you know what I told my mama? Yeet! It was funny, but after so many of them, that is kind of like it takes away from it. And I was like, Jesus Christ, can people just not like learn when to do stuff? I wish that they would. There's plenty of chances to yeet. He gonna give you the beginning of the yeet. He gonna give you after the yeet. He gonna say something good that you might even go yeet. You ain't gotta yeet every damn time. You don't have to do it. But I thought Jey did deliver the promo really well. I was like, where he basically was talking about how he's afraid, and I was like, he was breaking up with it and stuff like that. While I didn't necessarily, I was like, he was vulnerable with it, and I was like, I didn't think that he needed to be like, like man up. I was like, he's selling a way where he just basically like, I'm going to have it where he ended it right, where he just like, I'm going to have it where basically your mom is going to be asking about you. And I was like, cool. That's how we settle it. So I was like, I think that was needed. I think next week it's going to be a brawl again or some form of that, and then we're going to ride off and we're going to see how that ends. Now, with that being said, the women's championship, like I said, I don't think that they're getting messy enough. I was like, whether or not they're booing Bianca for some odd reason, but I was like, I like that Bianca was able to flip the whole thing where it's just like, you know what? Because I was like, I'm with y'all. Whatever. Cool, let her in. Or whatever like that. She's not even fighting anymore. The fact that everybody like, booing her and she's like, whatever. Even though I earned my way in, if y'all just want to just have it this way or whatever, I was like, that she making a point, because I was like, it is kind of dumb that y'all are like, boo you, because you did it the right way. And we want Rhea who does it. Yeah. But then the Bianca would did it. You'd be like, but boo you again or whatever. Io gonna get cheered. That's not it. I was like, yeah. But I was like, as I just dismiss her, that's how they're sort of doing it. I think they really just, I was like, I said that they needed to cluster this up and they haven't. They still went back to basically ignoring Io again and Io get the upper hand. And I was just like, yo, at some point, I just really just want Io just to really just mess them up. That's what I think. I was like, they're fighting. Hell, Io gets a chair. Guess what? People are going to cheer her anyway. Like, at this point, I'm just like, Io could do whatever. And they should just let her do whatever. They should. I was like, boo Salt outside. I haven't seen them do that or whatever. Beat their ass with a chair. I don't know. I was like, real throw ass through a table or something, like mess this all the way up. Make it in a stipulation or something. I don't know. But I was like, the match is gonna be good. I just wish they would have added a little bit more with it, and they haven't or whatever. Like, at least they tried with the Jey and Gunther thing, but Here, I was like, the first 2 weeks was like, cool. Okay, you doing the mush mouth to EO, cool. After that, you've been doing that thing basically the last couple weeks since. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine, or whatever. Like, make it a little bit more grimy or something like that. And they don't have to go Tiffany and Charlotte way, but like, come on, get us excited, get us pumped up about this whole thing. I was like, everybody else is sort of. You think about it, everybody else is kind of doing like some actually like brawl, or everybody just hitting each other or whatever. I like they have a little bit when I was like with Rhea throwing them both on. I mean, like almost stacking them on top of each other and stuff like that. But nah, I think they should just be all out fighting. You're the top three people of the women's division, making a mess. Uh, yeah, I was like, other than that, I was like the Penta Finn Mysterio, Braun Breaker thing. That spear was crazy, crazy. To me, that's like the fear that like you got to get rid of if you're trying to be a wrestler. Where he just speared him and then flipped over and then had no regard on how he was gonna land. And I was like, that's crazy, but that was cool. But this is also now like I'm like I really want to see how this match goes. Crossing fingers, I was like over here. I was like, I'm either going for Penta or Mysterio to win it. You know what? I actually wouldn't mind it if Finn won it. I didn't think that I would like the Finn to do some other things other than the Intercontinental Championship. But they're gonna go with Mysterio. It's gonna make the storyline with Jeff a little bit more like, because it's like, hey, one of us got a championship, right? It's like, yeah. One of us got a championship, sure. But yeah, I was like, yeah. So I was like, so far I was like, and we're gonna get Rey Mysterio versus Americano, like Grand Americano, and okay, I sure, okay, I was like Chad Gable finally gets WrestleMania, but it's not him. I'm fine with it. I would have been better if it was like the Raw after or something like that. I don't think that really deserves a spot there, but hey, whatever, cool. Something cool might come out of it or whatnot. But anyway, I know I did it was almost like I did a Raw recap, but I was really just talking about the storylines, and they just happen to have a whole bunch of storylines on Raw that implicates except for WrestleMania, more so than anything. But anyway, yeah, do with that as you will. Peace. I'm out.